Okay, so this is the final seventh and final video and reviewing part 5. For this section, I want you to edit 2 sentences and 2 paragraphs from the assigned manuscript. The text you will use to help you with this section is Richard, Paul, and Linda Elder's How to Write a Paragraph, a Writing Manual, and again, or sorry, once that I'm like explaining it, it should be and Purdue OWL to provide information on editing. All right. Sorry for that typo. It happens to all of us. Okay. When you begin to write this section, identify 2 sentences and paragraphs you will work on. Editing is evaluating a writer's writing, like finding verb noun agreement. It's like is he, is she, and so on and so forth. Making the making the thesis statement clear, making word selection accurate, and so much more. When you are editing the 2 sentences and paragraphs, use Purdue OWL as well as Paul Elder. One of the things you have to be cautious about is that when you edit, you are editing for clarity. What message is being conveyed by not altering the initial message of the sentence or paragraph? So basically, what I'm asking you to do is when you're editing the text, you have to maintain the integrity of what the author is saying. It is not your job to change what they say. Your job is to clarify what they are saying. And that could be based on style, it's like word use, rhetoric, how words are put together, or sorry, syntax is how words are put together, right? Or rhetoric, how they present their ideas in written text. But then this also includes punctuation like sentences, commas, semicolons, and so on and so forth. And that's why I am encouraging you to, sorry, the cat, to use Purdue OWL, okay, to be able to edit. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense and it's clear. Okay, now, so then once you're done editing, so that's the first thing that you're going to do. The first part is editing the 2 paragraphs and 2 sentences, right? And then once you do that, once you have edited the 2 sentences and paragraphs, I want you to paraphrase both sentences and paragraphs. When you begin the process of paraphrasing, use Paul and Elders from pages 13 to 16 using the practice. uh, will show you how Paul and Elder wrote on paraphrasing and why a writer would want to paraphrase when writing. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Be sure to provide the sentences and paragraphs you are editing and going to paraphrase. Refer to the module to the example I provided on how to edit and paraphrasing a sentence and paragraph. Okay. So then, when the reason you want to, or why I'm having you do the paraphrasing along with the editing is just to show you how you're able to use words and how you're able to use ideas. Like I mentioned earlier, when I was in graduate school, I had a professor, Professor Cruz. Um, he would always ask us at towards the end of the class before he would let us out to paraphrase or summarize the text in like maybe 3 or 4 sentences or 2 sentences, depending on what the conversation was for that particular text and how the course unfolded at the particular time. So to paraphrase shows a number of things. It shows that you have knowledge and awareness of what the text you are using and what it says, because what you're doing is that you're taking the idea of the author, but then you're using his ideas but putting it in your own words. But the biggest thing that you have to make sure, and also refer to the pages that I listed on the handout, is that you have to identify and credit the person that you are borrowing the idea from, either if you're paraphrasing it, and especially if you're direct quoting. Right. And we'll talk about like direct quoting and all that as we start going into the research proposal. Okay. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, in terms of like the paraphrasing. So then now I'm gonna continue. All right. So that's the handout. Okay. So I'm gonna Oh, sorry. Let me show you. So like these are the things like page 13, 14, 15, as well as 16 and 17 to help you paraphrase. So you're going to use these sections to help you paraphrase. So I definitely recommend that you read through this section carefully and follow the examples of how Paul and Elder show how they do the paraphrasing. Okay. So hopefully this makes sense. And again, if you have any questions, please send me an email, either directly or through Canvas, or you can visit me tomorrow during my office hours, either in person or virtually. And if you can't do either tomorrow, send me email so we can do like a Zoom appointment session. Okay. So yeah, so I'll see everyone next week. All right. And yeah, that's it. Thank